following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer, Brian Haynes alongside Jeremy Greene on the other end. It is time to continue with the off-season files for the NFL. Welcome into the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. Yes, be sure to like, share, and follow on all of the social media. Subscribe to the channel here so you will get all of our off-season files content as we move on to
the Tennessee Titans.
That's right. The Tennessee Titans making the big move over the weekend to get Julio Jones. He is now their 1A, 1B.
I still think A.J. Brown's the best receiver on this team.
I would agree with that, but I can't really say A.J. Brown's the 1, Julio Jones is the 2. I think it's a 1A, 1B situation.
Yeah.
Probably.
But, to me, this makes them even better than I thought they were. Problem is, I don't know that this moves the needle for them in the hierarchy of the AFC. Maybe gained a spot for me.
Yeah, I mean,
you and I had them at 13-4 anyway.
Right. Yeah. Without Julio Jones, we projected that they would be 13-4 on the season. Brian here had them at 10-7.
Yeah.
Tommy had them at 12-5. Caleb at 11-6. So Brian, you were the lowest. Now, what is your revised?
Yeah, as this morning, I would say it didn't move the needle this much, but I was unaware that I had them at 10-7. So that has moved the needle tremendously, because I now think they are a 12-13 win team.
Yep.
And in the hierarchy of the NFC, I still believe they're AFC. Thank you. Of the AFC, I believe that they're going to be top 5, and I think just behind Cleveland at number 4. I know that Jeremy.
You were trying to say NFL. It's fine. They'll be in the top 5 of the NFL.
Oh, okay. Is that really? Is that right?
That's what you were trying to do.
No.
Freudian slip.
Yeah, I know it. Here's the thing. I don't think they're better than the Cleveland Browns, so I still think they're going to be in a dogfight. Then
I forget. Who's the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns?
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
I'll take Tennessee all day.
Yeah.
All day.
But I before this morning's show, I had them not moving the needle much, but obviously they're not going to be 10-7 with Julio Jones.
No, not a chance of that.
No.
I think this is still going to be a dogfight at the top of this division. No more than a game, I think, will separate them and the Indianapolis Colts. However, I do think this swayed the division for me. I
still think they're going to be in a dogfight with the Colts.
I thought it was 50-50 before this trade. I'd probably put it at 75-25 now.
Oh, wow. It's huge. I can see a path where now they're probably switching positions with how I had them ranked prior to the Julio Jones trade. I think I had the Colts at 12-5, winning the division, and then Tennessee still making the playoffs at 10-7. I still believe this was a playoff team beforehand. But maybe that flip-flops now. Maybe that flip-flops, but I still think it's going to be a dogfight. But they are an improved. This makes much better improvement than I thought it would be.
To me, there is no doubt that the Julio Jones trade with the Atlanta Falcons is the best move they made all offseason. You disagree, though, Jeremy? You think the best addition that they made is Bud Dupree?
I think they're 1A and 1B.
Okay.
They had to have somebody that can get after the quarterback.
Yes.
I am notoriously low on Bud Dupree. I think he's a cleanup guy. However, he's going to take attention away from everybody else. You can't just leave him one-on-one and assume it's going to be okay. Now, this is a guy that I didn't love that you paid that much money, but he is a good pass rusher. And that was the biggest flaw of this team. They couldn't get after the quarterback.
It was bad.
Now you've got Caleb Farley and Janoris Jenkins in the secondary. I just look at this team and think it's going to be markedly improved. And now you've got Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, and Derrick Henry. You're not going to be able to stack the box. I think Henry may have a better year this year than he had last year.
Yeah, it's another 2,000-yard season is probably in the books, especially with the extra game. This is pretty czy.
I have a question for you, though.
Why do dogs have cold noses? I've always wanted to know that.
You have said this now twice today, that you think they'll be markedly improved in the secondary. How much better really is Janoris Jenkins and Caleb Farley compared to what they had last year with Desmond King and Adoree Jackson.
Well, I mean, here's the problem.
Malcolm Butler.
Adoree Jackson was like a Sasquatch. He only saw him about half the time. So, I mean, how much better is he? How much better are they with Caleb Farley and Janoris Jenkins than, the 3 games you had last year of Adoree Jackson? And the revolving door of Desmond King and that's better.
Okay.
To me, that is stability. I really like Caleb Farley. A lot of people, I wasn't as high. When people had him go in the top 10, I thought that was stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
And I thought it was stupid J.C. Horn went in the top 10. I just didn't evaluate these guys that way. Now, that being said, I did say they were all immediate day one starters. Caleb Farley's the number 1 corner on this team from Jump Street. And I think he can be very, very good. I think that's a market improvement.
Yeah, I mean, market improvement already. I mean, they, looking over again, and I don't think I had realized this beforehand, but they absolutely killed the draft this year. They got Caleb Farley, Dylan Redunds, Monty Rice, Elijah Molden, Rashad Weaver out of Pittsburgh, who's going to definitely help in the pass rushing department. Those are 5 names that are going to contribute to this team year one, 100%.
Oh, yeah. To me, I mean, in the offseason between free agency trades and the draft, I mean, they added 5 no-doubt starters day one. Between Bud Dupree, Julio Jones, Janoris Jenkins, Caleb Farley, Dylan Redunds.
Yeah.
Those are 5 quality starters that they've added to this team. This was a team already that was 11-5 last year. And I think they're going to do it markedly better, although I will give credit to whoever created the meme of, hey, remember that time you lost in the Super Bowl in Atlanta? Why don't you come to Tennessee and lose in the divisional round? I thought that was one of the best ones I saw all weekend.
Oh, listen, their offense is going to be good. It's going to be very similar to last year. It's going to help with Julio Jones. This really depends on the defense this year. They really got to, if you saw Tennessee, they put up lots of points. Jeremy brought up earlier about more yards per game than barely almost every other team in this league.
Right. Chiefs and Bills were the only 2.
Yeah. And so your offense is going to be clicking even more so now. What are you going to get out of defense? And I think with the moves that they made, they're already markedly improved from last year's defense. And this defense, this is a team that's going to be able to score 28 to 34 points a game guaranteed, I think.
I mean, think about this. You're talking about the secondary.
Yeah.
Christian Fulton was a starter last year with Adoree Jackson out. He's either the 3 or the 4.
Yeah.
And that's a guy coming out of LSU that I liked. I just didn't like him on the outside.
Right.
I've always thought he was a slot guy. I think Elijah Molden's a slot guy. And you've got Janoris Jenkins and Caleb Farley that can play on the outside.
Yeah.
Plus you've got Bud Dupree that can get after quarterbacks. I think he makes Harold Landry better.
Yes.
Don't undersell the Danico Autry addition.
Okay.
I just look at his defense. I think it's markedly better. And now, I still think the Colts are an 11-win team.
Yeah.
High-end wild card.
Yeah.
But I think the Titans, barring injury, win this division. And it's probably one of the easier divisions for me to pick now. That's how different I think it is with Julio Jones.
Yeah. I give the Indianapolis Colts a little bit more credit as a more complete team because I do believe in their defense. I think that makes a difference for them. And that's how I view them when I compare the Tennessee Titans with the Cleveland Browns as well. I believe in that defense more than I believe in this. Offenses are kind of, coin tosses. Although now Tennessee is much better offensively than Indianapolis.
Who's the quarterback of Cleveland?
Yes.
Baker.
No.
Give me Ryan Tannehill. 100 times out of 100.
If you've watched these videos at all, you understand the vitriol that will come out of our friend's mouth over Baker Mayfield.
I cannot stand Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Yeah. We've all come to understand this.
The Cleveland Browns are a Maserati being driven by a penguin.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way about Tennessee Titans.
And we had the graphic up earlier where Julio Jones is going to be a fantasy impact value. I think more so Ryan Tannehill now becomes more of a value quarterback, and if you can get him,
Tannehill's going about the beginning around 9 right now.
Yeah. I'm all, it's maybe a little bit higher than I would have him, but
it's probably higher than I would have him.
Where do
you think Julio Jones is going right now? Now, granted, this was on Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I think he's actually going to slide from this being in Tennessee.
Really?
Fourth pick, fourth
round. Yeah.
I think you'll be able to get Julio Jones in the 5th round. Not in every league, but I think you'll be able to get him in the 5th round in a lot of leagues. And I'm totally here for it. As my, third receiver? Third receiver? All the way in.
Yeah.
All the way in.
I mean, they're just going to be able to, and I spoke a little bit about this earlier, this is an offense that's going to be able to read the defense and be able to choose what they want to do. If you're going to try to stack the box to stop Henry.
If you stack the box, you're going to get murdered.
You're going to get murdered because they're going to just play action you to death, and that's what Ryan Tannehill does best. His play action pass is top 5 in this league, 100%.
No doubt.
And he's going, now that he has 2 guys on each side that you have to worry about, it's going to get really hard. And you can actually see this probably helps Josh Reynolds out a little bit more fantasy value-wise than it would if he was just the number 2 receiver.
I think this kills him.
Does it really?
I don't think they throw enough.
Well,
to have 3 fantasy relevant targets,
that's
I don't buy it.
You're right. I guess I wasn't thinking about it as much as they throw, but they are going to have to. What are you going to do? You can't double team either one of those guys on the outside. You can't stack the box because of those 2. There's going to be spots in this any defense that plays. There are going to be spots that are open on the field.
I'm hoping it pushes A.J. Brown down because I actually like A.J. Brown better than I did with Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because now you cannot just fixate on him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you saw what Corey Davis did last year when they started to fixate on A.J. Brown.
You said his name wrong. New York Jets wide receiver and my new best friend, Corey Davis.
Yeah. So you're going to see, they started to fixate on A.J. Brown. Corey Davis started to eat towards the end of the season. He was getting, 10 receptions a game sometimes. Julio Jones, they're going to have to start making a decision where you're going. It's going to be really hard to defend this team, period. I don't know how you do it because of how good
Well, I mean, they're going to
Derrick Henry
believe
is.
you with Derrick Henry, and then they're going to bait you in, wait for somebody's eye discipline to get bad, and ding you over the top with either Julio Jones or A.J. Brown or Ferkser coming across the middle or Josh Reynolds deep.
Yeah, it's
the only thing that would concern me about this offense going into the season is can Julio stay healthy? And we don't project injuries, I know, but I mean it.
It has to be said because of the last year.
He's 32 years old. These dings and scrapes are going to get worse and worse and worse as he gets older. So
I would still like for them to have another situational pass rusher on this team, which I don't think they have right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, Harold Landry, he does stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't buy in. I'm not as dead set on Bud Dupree.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think he's obviously a market improvement. He's way better than Jadeveon Clowney, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was still, other than Matthew Judon, the pass rusher on the market that I liked the least.
Well, that's where Rashad Weaver comes in my estimation.
Weaver to me is a run stopper.
He was more of a run stopper.
He's not going to be that situational pass rusher right off the jump. I think he's going to have to learn how to do that.
Okay.
He was a guy that was in the backfield a lot in Pittsburgh. He was disrupting plays, but it was mostly in the rush game.
Yeah, there's a lot of twitch with him. There's some good flex with him. You can see it coming off the edge. There's just not a wide array of moves. Mm-hmm. He's pretty much a one-trick pony, so he's going to have to learn how to be a pass rusher if that's how they view him.
Yeah.
On the offensive side of the ball, I think a tight end would be welcome if they added another one. I don't like Anthony Ferkser. I don't like Jeff Swaim. They're dudes.
Anthony Ferkser. This is who's the other one that the other guy you hate so much?
Jalen
Guyton. Anthony Ferkser is the Jalen Guyton of the Tennessee Titans.
Sorry, he's just a dude.
I mean, there was games where Johnny was hurt last year that Ferkser came in and he played very well. There was a game he had almost 10 catches.
Tannehill trusts him.
Mm-hmm. And that says a lot. Yeah.
That is important.
And he is actually a dual tight end where he's not just Jonnu Smith out there running and finding a hole in the zone. He can actually block as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jonnu Smith. I think he got overpaid. I'm glad Tennessee didn't give it to him. Mm-hmm. Jonnu's one of those guys that has great games and then disappears.
Right.
And
8 touchdowns, but he had 400 yards and catches.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was a 60 catch, 900-yard guy,
Right.
I do have to state this for the record. The New England Patriots spent $110 million in tight ends, but couldn't afford a 2 and a 4 for Julio Jones. Fuck Bill Belichick.
So there was a bit of something coming out about this move with the Julio Jones is that they were talking about the money that they're going to actually spend on him is going to be way more than they actually would have had to give Corey Davis, and they lose 2 picks from this and gain 1 back.
Julio Jones' high end is better than Corey Davis.
And so there was just talk about that. I just wanted to bring that subject up because
I love Corey Davis. I can't wait for him to be my new best friend with the Jets. But
Yeah.
It's just Julio freaking Jones we're talking about.
Yeah. Hey, man.
The slander on Julio's name has become just absolutely out of its mind ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. And I think there was times last year where, I mean, they had Calvin Ridley on it. I just think that he needed a new refresh, and this could be refreshing to Julio Jones, and he could be, dude, if he's 80% of old Julio Jones, look that half out, because he's still amazing.
Speaking of refreshing, support for the Spartocracy brought to you by Manscaped.
Yeah.
Manscaped.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy today and get 20% off of your purchase, as well as free worldwide shipping. Both.
Worldwide.
And nation. They'll do both.
Prestige.
You're ordering it from Mars.
That's right.
Space Force.
Yeah.
Use the promo code.
You can get your ball trimmer on Venus.
Yeah. Promo code Sportsocracy at Manscaped.com. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0.
This fella right here. Yeah.
The 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. Sportsocracy is the promo code. Use it when you check out. 20% off of your purchase. That's on top of whatever deal they've got going on right now. So, as one of our good friends here in the Sportsocracy told us today, he saved like 65% on his order because there was another deal going on. So, Father's Day right around the corner. You might as well take care of your dad, take care of his balls, because that's where you came from.
Let's face it, your first home was your father's balls.
Yeah.
Time for you to get in that long overdue housewarming present at manscaped.com. Use promo code Sportsocracy for 20% off on all your products, all of the things. One-stop shop for Father's Day. Manscaped.com, promo code Sportsocracy.
Big question with the Tennessee Titans in 2021. How much will Arthur Smith being gone be a difference for this team? Todd Downing gets elevated from the tight ends coach to being the offensive coordinator, so the system probably won't change all that much. You know what you have. You know what's been working. Pound the ground game. Hit them with the play action. You got 2 superstar wide receivers now. I don't think there's going to be that much of a difference in this offense.
I don't either. I think it might take a few games to get acclimated. Downing's going to need a few games to. It's the first time being a play caller, so that's going to take a few games. However, I think the Titans are. I think they're a Super Bowl contender. I really do.
I mean, Julio Jones on your team kind of helps bridge that gap between having another new coordinator, so that definitely helps out for sure.
For sure, the Tennessee Titans will be at the top of the AFC South this year. Whether they finish first, whether they finish second, I don't think there's any path to anything other than that happening. There's a no-doubt playoff team. Whether it be the wild card, they're the first wild card, or they're the division champion, just like they were this past season.
Division champion.
Yep.
All of our other off-season review videos right here in the Sportsocracy. Hit that subscribe button. There is a playlist for your team. Share it out with your friends as well. Tell them their team is covered right here in the Sportsocracy each and every day. Check us out weekday mornings at 9-ish right here in the Wicked Weed studio. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Brian Haynes. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.